So we're thinking on a security front. Well, this isn't easy to lift in and out, a big heavy thing, but it would be good as an outside of a garage door. You'd have to hinge it, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be able to lift it out of the way, lift it in and out. That's if you wanted to have one of those on the outside. Okay, you'd paint it black and make it look nice, and you would hinge it like a gate. Anybody looking at the garage would say this guy is serious about his security, but would that invite them in, or would that just make them go elsewhere? Question number one. Question number two. Scaffolding tube. Pretty good. Ooh, a little bit heavy. Just a scaffolding tube would do, wouldn't it? With an adapted one end or another to fit into something or around something or... So, let's have a look at this. There was this sort of... this stuff, look. This is part of a thing that hooks on legs. We could put a plate and adapt that so it slots in. This is okay, quite easy to lift. Covers the area, makes the gap wider. What we're basically doing is stopping a bike from, it's got to be low enough to stop the bike from going underneath it if they were to turn it outside and drag it out, but high enough to cause them aggravation so they can't get it over. So we're thinking of that. I wonder if that's the way to go. And then the corner, do you see how that slots in on top of there? So rather than it sitting vertically, we could make something sideways, couldn't we? Go in. There's not a hell of a lot. Okay, we could make these, turn these into something, cut them and weld them, but way too big, take up too much space. So that's what you have to do. You have to just walk about. Keep walking about. See, that would be an alright. Oh, now does that equal to a price? Where have I seen it? The length of that. Let's have a look. Oh, that'd be alright for height wise. But again, for me, obviously it's strong enough, but it doesn't look meaty enough. It looks you want to make something way bigger than it needs to be so that it looks even more chunkier. You know what I mean? You have to look the part and be the part. Ideally, the ideal situation would be to get something like this. Look, long piece of this, quite light, really strong to get through. This would be in the corner. You'd cut a slot in there, the thing would slot through it. So there's the one end secure. So you would put it in, give it plenty of room to come in and out, or a keep there, something that, you know, they couldn't attack. And then here would be a similar keep, going through some sort of a catch, elongate that hole or whatever, and then on top of that you'd protect it. You'd put it in a box. We've done one of these before, made a big steel box. This would come along, this would slot into something, and then you'd put your padlock, so your padlock would sit under there, so they couldn't get at it to knock it or to hammer it, or, you know, that sort of a thing. So we're sort of on the track. If you wanted to slot something in, but it's also, I know it would do me, you know, I'm not really, it doesn't have to look good for me, but I know you're ready. It has to look pretty. Look like it's professionally made. We've got feet. We've got squares of feet that we can bolt them on the floor. So I'm just wandering around trying to make a plan, trying to look what's here, looking for inspiration, looking for an idea. Look, that's again a mother of a plate. You could that would soon, and you could get a chain or a padlock to go through there. I haven't quite got enough. See, this would do just fine. That thickness of box section, put another box section here. That shaft, if you welded two of them together into a box, that would be strong, thick to cut through, plus quite light to handle, because you don't want it to, you want to be lifting it in and out all the time. I use these shelving, see, they're hollow, they're quite big and they're quite strong. I use these as bars to go across, but I use two and the middle one. So bit over the top, we're just looking for one bar, one obstruction, one good strong obstruction in the way. Keep thinking, keep looking, we'll find something. So you could use something like this. The door open, the door shut. Doesn't take a lot of space up. Pivot it, but it's sitting on a brick wall, so they only have to knock a few bricks out, and this is done. I prefer something that's fixed to the floor and holds itself up. That would wouldn't take a lot of space. There is the door open, and there is the door shut. Two of these either side, or even one would do, but you're still only relying on the door being there. So I always presume that they come prepared and they've ripped the door off. So let's say the door is gone, they've got around the door. This would be no good, because this would only secure the door, wouldn't it? Using the door, I'd rather use something independent. I always think, if you're making security, like for instance this door, right, we've got a lock on this door, right, so we've got a padlock on this door, and we've got a lock on this door. So when you're thinking of security, it's no good securing this, because let's imagine they've ripped this door off. That's gone now, so whatever you've got on there is gone. What's behind it is another independent and separate security system, which is, in this case, another bloody big steel door. And yeah, you can have another mechanism to open and shut it and keep it locked, you know. So it's got its own lock, and the lock shielded under here. I don't know if you can see, when this goes across, we put a padlock in there, and then they can't, it's very difficult to get to the lock to break the lock. But then also we have a little, so if they did break the lock, we have another obstruction, shall we call it, that I haven't finished. I might do that this week. So anyway, we're thinking security, and it doesn't have to be, the weld doesn't have to be good. There just has to be enough on there that some of it's holding somewhere, and it's as good as a proper welder. You know, a proper welder would have welded here, and then possibly welded there, and then possibly welded there. But my welding is so shit. Weld everything, it's got to be sticking somewhere, isn't it? And I always give it the hammer test, and then paint it. You wouldn't really know, would you? It's only again, strengthened with a bit of angle iron, put a face plate on it, put a bit of tube in it so that comes in and out through it. Yeah, you've just got to use your imagination and use what you've got to make whatever, to create what means you want to the end. You see, when I did this, I discovered I couldn't get my hands in there to do the lock anyway, so I had to cut a bit out. So you build it, You find out what's wrong with it, you fix what's wrong with it, and all of a sudden, it's how it's meant to be. Well, my little mushy bits, there's going to be a change. There's a change afoot. The only way I can explain to you is I'm on, as you might say, standby. I'm waiting for a few things to happen. Whilst at the same time I can't commit to anything else because I have to react to what happens. So anyway, we'll see. But anyway, you'll get to see. But in between times, look at the state of this. In between times, I'm using this as a bit of free time in the day because, you know, usually I'm up at stupid o'clock and come home at stupid o'clock. I'm out on the road. So this week, hey, Friday, do you remember we were, all last summer we worked on the room? Well, the last step of that's coming. It's been decorated, carpets, radiators, all that, the floor. Well, the new furniture arrives on Friday. So I'll be around for that. We'll hopefully be around for that. But in between times, my mission this week is to clear and tidy up this mess, this unholy mess that's in here. So I'm going to stand in the middle. I'm going to go all the way around, and this is for you and also for me to remind me to get my arse into gear and altogether tidy. I've at least got a couple of days that I can do something with. So we are tinkering and tidying, and we've got something to make as well, but again, waiting for materials.